Merry Christmas to all of you guys, and today I'm releasing Lazybridge. So what is Lazybridge? Lazybridge is a bridge between your desktop and the Lazytextures API. Lazybridge is communicating with all of your 3D programs, so it's like an asset manager for your 3D assets. I will put a detailed documentation of this program inside of the description. I'm working on it, but it's not ready, so I will put it in the description if it's ready, and you can read all of the features and some things that are happening inside of the program. So let's get started. So you can download and import assets inside of this program. So it's like a central based asset manager where you can put all your 3D assets in. You can also filter and search for specific assets that you need for your project. And with a plus icon you can just export them to Cinema4D or Blender or Substancepainter. On the library button you can see all your assets that you have in, and also the imported assets from your asset library or a different asset library of a different source. So speaking of import, you can mass import all of your assets from different sources or your personal library and put it into this program, and then you can find all your assets with tags or something like this, or specific filter options where you can just find all of your assets and just ready to export to your other program. So you have like a manager that manage all of your assets, and if you like me working with different programs like Blender and Cinema4D, you can import them in there inside of this program and export them later to, I don't know, you work in a Cinema4D project and want to switch to Blender, or you want to use the same asset for Blender, you can just export the textures and the FBX file. But if you have a model or maybe you have a material, you can just export the material and use it in different programs without setting up the material and everything, and setting up that much, and it saves you a lot of time. So we have the single importer that is just importing one model or one material, or you can import by mass, so it's like a mass importer, so you can select a folder with a bunch of assets in separate folders, and the importer will recognize your asset. By recognizing your asset, the asset importer is also checking, okay, is there a FBX in it, or is it just the EXR like a HDRI? So it's recognizing, is it a model, is it a material, or is it a HDRI? It will automatically find the right asset type and put it into a specific direction type and files that the exporter later needs to export your asset to a different program. You can also put preview PNGs inside of this folder, so the program is recognizing, okay, this is a preview picture and will recognize it as a preview, and this is how you find it inside of the asset manager. So as an example, I mass imported some assets from Lazybridge. Lazybridge is a good example because they switched to Fab completely, and after they switched to Fab I have the problem that everything feels janky and weird, and that's also one reason why I programmed this bridge. So it's easy, you just go to the folder and import all of your assets. There is a little bit of a problem, so you can't import more than like 30 materials or models because you have like a size limit or something. That's because I had some problems to import a lot of stuff, and you also need to wait a little bit after the program process all of the assets. That's a little bit of a downer, but it works. It also shows you an upload button. It's not like you upload something to a server or something. It's because the Lazybridge is working on a local server instead of your machine. That's because there is an upload button, so you need to press it. It doesn't upload to a server or something. It just uploads to your local server where the assets get sorted and imported into the program. So after you import your stuff, the importer is setting up the right direction for every asset, and then you can export them. Speaking of export, we can talk about the exporters now. For the exporters, we now support 3 programs. It's Cinema4D, Blender, and Substancepainter. For Cinema4D, we have a few options. So we have Corona Renderer, Octane Renderer, and Redshift. For Blender, we just use Cycles and Eevee. And we have Substancepainter. You can access the exporter by clicking on the right top. There is the settings menu where you can go to the exporter and choose your exporter. You also have settings for app, UI, and exporter. In the app settings, you have an asset path. The asset path is normally located where the exe is, so you can change it and put a library on a different drive or something. You can also put it on a server or NAS, so everyone in the team can use this type of library and export it into the program, so you have a centralized based asset manager for your whole team. You also have a port for the server. This is the port where Lazybridge is running on your PC, and you also have a checkmark for a console. The console is basically just logging what is happening inside of the program, and you can turn it on or turn it off. It's normally turned off, so you don't need it that much. Maybe you have running in some problems and you need to take a look what is happening right now, and you can just use the console and see what is happening. So let's talk about the exporters again. First we start with Blender. Blender is really easy to use, so you can just go to auto detect or select your Blender version that you use. If you start Lazybridge the first time, you have exporters folder that is created automatically. This exporters folder contains some exporters that you can use. One of them is Lazy to Blender. You just go to Blender, Edit, Preferences and install the add-on. It's just a Python file. After that you go back to your settings inside of Lazybridge. After that you select Blender and choose the right port that you also set it up in Blender. So normally it's set it up to the same one, so if you have some issues with different servers that is running on the same port, you need to obviously change the port and use this as an exporter, but it needs to be the same port to let Lazybridge communicate with Blender. So after you set it up this correctly, you can just click on the plus if you have an asset downloaded and it will automatically export it to Blender. So yeah, that's done for Blender, so let's go for Cinema4D. The Cinema4D exporter is a little bit different because I use a script instead of a server to put it into Cinema4D from Lazybridge to Cinema4D. This method is a little bit faster because you just execute a script that is executed inside of Cinema4D and you have like a quicker and nicer response because you don't need to wait that much like in Blender. So to set up Cinema4D, it's really easy. Just select Cinema4D and select your Cinema4D path. So you just need to find the exe file of your running Cinema4D. So you can just use the presets that are up to Cinema4D version 2026. But you can also select the custom path. That's not a problem if you use an older version or maybe a newer, I don't know when you're watching this video. After that you need to set up your scripts path. To set up the script path you just need to go to Cinema4D, Edit, Preferences, Open Preference folder. After that go to Library and Scripts, copy this folder path. After that go to the Lazybridge and put it into Cinema4D Scripts folder path and drop the file path in there. After that you can save the settings and just export it for Cinema4D. All the exporters are working, so you can just use Redshift, Corona or Octane. Substancepainter is also working like Blender. You also have a Python script that is coming with the program. If you execute the exe, it creates the export folder with the Lazy to Substancepainter exporter in it. So just open Substancepainter, go to Python, go to Open Plugin folder. Inside of the folder go to Plugins and drop the plugin folder in it. You could also press the button Install Substancepainter plugin inside of Lazybridge. It would automatically install the exporter to the default path of Substancepainter's plugins folder. After you installed it, you can click on the left corner. There should be a console log. If you click on that, you open the console and it should run the server to the Lazybridge. It's also important that it's running on the same port, obviously, but after that you can check it by clicking on the plus on an asset that you downloaded, and if it's exporting to Substancepainter, it's working perfectly fine. Obviously the Substancepainter script is not working with HDRIs or models because you're just working with materials inside of Substancepainter. So that's everything for the exporters. You can switch between the exporters if you have everything set it up and use the Lazybridge exporter for every program that you use. Sometimes it's also important that you save your settings and restart a program to save the settings correctly and use it properly. So that's about it, the export features. So let's go to the UI features. It was very important to me to don't do useless features, so I just did some UI features. So for the UI features you can change everything. You can change the color, you can change the background, you can change the color of buttons, stripes, everything that you want. And also you can import pictures. But there's something else that you can do. You can also import GIFs. With these GIFs you have the ability to set up an animated background or something. I really liked it. I can show you what I did. You could also blur your background and put down the opacity to get some vision of the text and the materials and the assets that are inside of the program. So I can show you my settings. I tinted everything to pink. I put a new animated background to the Lazybridge and I really liked it. So you have the full customizability for your asset manager. So you have the control. You also have a setting for always on top. This is setting up your Lazybridge window always on the top, so you don't need to search for it, and it's always aligned on the top and you can find it easily. You can also set this on or off. Maybe it's a little bit annoying to can't really close it, and sometimes you don't want to have it always on the top, but you have the ability to do that. And so my goal for the asset library and the Lazybridge in general was to give artists the opportunity to store and save these assets on one place and use them in every program without spending so much money on asset managers. It's crazy how expensive they are sometimes. I just want you to save some time and have a centralized point where you can store your assets and export it to every program ever if you need it. It's just about freedom, not about profits. So let's talk about 2026 and what comes next. So for 2026 I plan these things. First, I want to continue Cinema4D exporter, so I want to export to Arnold and V-Ray also. Also, I planned a Maya support, so you can use the library inside of Maya with Arnold renderer. I think Houdini shading is also painful, so I will also do a Houdini bridge. Also, for all of the game developers, I want to do a Unreal Engine 5 bridge. I also will implement advanced material setups, so you can control seams and repetitions inside of Lazybridge, so you don't need to do complex material setups. And also maybe some color correction nodes that you can put before you put it into the material, so you can control it and you don't need to create it and you have a full control inside of your program. So that's all for the features, and I hope this program saves you a lot of time to do that what you want to do the most. Creating worlds and environments full of creativity. And the last thing that I will do in 2026 is just creating assets. I started this project 1.5 years ago to learn how to create PBR materials in the right way. So I just want to create more materials, more models, and do my day-to-day work and upload maybe these models from my day-to-day work into Lazytextures. So what I want to do is just to create a free open library for 3D assets for everyone to just be creative and get some nice assets and don't need to worry about how to do this and how to do that, and just do a big library of 3D assets. But what can you do? Just use these assets. I just want to have the world use these assets to just use them, and it was not useless to create it. So I just want you to use it and have fun with it. So that's my approach. You can also subscribe to my Patreon in the description. I will upload some tutorials where I can show how to create these kind of materials or modeling or something else. So I will do some tutorials, and also you also have the ability to recommend materials or something that I should create, like models or materials or textures that I will do and publish for the public. So the Patreon link is in the description. I will work on that, so this is coming also soon. But maybe you support this project, maybe you like it, and maybe you like the asset manager, so just go in the description and download it, and I hope you like it and have a great day. Goodbye.